want to
Yes.
know, did you face any such students who was very curious or desperate in learning this language, was obedient and learned English in no time? Or was there a student who has taken enough number of sessions but still is at the same stage where he was? So how do you liked by my students that everybody wants Muskan ma'am? So
Okay.
on students' demand, I tried booking slot with you. I found it late night and I'm so much comfortable with late night sessions. So I
Okay.
went ahead and booked with you.
Okay, okay. That's so sweet of you and your students that they are really eager to see me, and same from my side. Like I was also thinking about so many of students. Like I'm missing. There are two or three students. I was thinking like last sessions. I was seeing what was the history that I've gone through. I was thinking
Okay.
about yes, these are the
Okay.
sessions that were there. Okay, so
Okay.
how are you? Like how was your day, Kavita, today?
I had a great day and I have been doing pretty well since last few days, pretty confident and also observing some changes in my life, some drastic changes in my life. So because of which I am happy and at the same time I feel that I need to work really hard
Okay.
to actually make it into reality to what I'm forecasting these days. So
Okay.
I hope I'll be able to do that.
Okay,
What
I
about
wish
you?
all, yeah, yeah, I wish all the luck that you receive, and I really hope that you achieve whatever you are aspiring for. And coming to me, like I'm also very like good. Today's day was especially very good for me. One of
Okay,
my
okay.
friend had been placed in a very good company. So actually, who he could
Okay.
not make to my place. So I
Mm.
was there to his university with his parents. So that was a very good day for me. Yes, and I enjoyed a lot.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'll just convey. Yeah, and that was really good day. And last week was also good. A little hectic, but yeah,
Mm.
that is a part of life again. That is how we are going through.
Everybody goes through that.
Yes, yes. So you said that it is something drastic changes happening. Like,
Mm.
is it something that is according to what you wish for, or is it
Yes.
in for sure it is in positive way, right?
It is in positive way. Some things are miracle in my life, working in my favor. What do I say? I feel like, how is this happening? Is this
Okay.
really happening? I mean, I'm sometimes thinking that is it really made for me? What am I getting? Why am I getting? And what have I done to get all this? It's so much drastic change.
Yes.
What
Okay.
to
I
say?
think God has plans for everybody, and just waiting for the right time is something that we can do. So
Correct.
that is something very good, and I hope and wish for your really good things that are coming. I hope more and more things are there on your
Thank
way,
you
and I
so
think you
much.
deserve it,
Thank you.
and you could have done for it. That is why you are achieving it, right?
Maybe.
Okay. So Kavita, shall we go ahead with the topic or the general
Yes.
conversation?
Yes, we can go ahead with the topic. I feel general conversations are limited and confined. So
Okay,
better
we,
explore the
yeah, we
topic.
don't have a lot to discuss regarding the general. We can add on our thoughts, of course, in the
Hmm.
topic, right?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So, Kavita, we have education as a topic for today, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So, you are the teacher. You, I think, are the perfect person who thinks that whom I can ask this question to. What do you think, Kavita, makes a person a good student?
More than education, his behavior, his or her behavior.
Okay.
How well he performs in the class, how well he treats his colleague and teachers. I mean, the courtesy he has, the humanity he carries, or the respect he has, which shows that how well his parents have nurtured him. That
Yes.
for me is most essential part. Whether he is quite well educated or does not find studies so interesting, but even if he has manners within him, I
Yes.
feel that is something a teacher finds attractive and feels positive towards the student and feels like teaching. There are some
Yes.
students who actually have no manners at all. Forget about
Yes.
them, but it's something that is
Yes.
interesting is their way of performing in the class. Be it a
Yes.
brilliant student, be it a very dull student. I never compare both of them because everybody has some special characteristics within them. So just comparing everybody with one specific criteria and associating their mentality based on that is injustice, I feel.
Yes. Yes, yes. I agree with your point. Like everyone has been a student in some or the other way in his or
Correct.
her life. And responding to what is coming in front of you at that part of a life when you are a student is very important, because that
Correct.
is, I think, the foundation of it, your whole life. And for sure, in the later future, you are also going to teach something to somebody.
Correct.
So yeah, that is really important when you're going through it. So do you think that these days we have seen a lot of booming culture, that is of computers and the tech that is evolving these days, especially after the COVID times? So do you think
Correct.
that computers will one day replace teachers in the classroom? What do you think about this?
I do not think so that this would ever happen, because teachers in school have a different discipline they carry. They teach
Yes.
them not just how to study, but apart from that, there is a curriculum in school which teaches discipline, which teaches cleanliness, which teaches so many other aspects of life when we are inside the school zone. But whereas we talk about tutors, it is only study oriented, I feel that online tutors, they only cover subjective syllabus and they stick to that. They only
Yes.
provide what is essential for students. So teachers in school, because I have been to school, in fact, I feel even you might have learned so
Yes.
many skills in school, being an anchor sometimes, being a dancer sometimes, being
Yes.
a disciplined child sometimes. So all these fun activities are missing if we replace school completely with tutors online, that too, when there's no special activity happening in class.
Yes, yes, yeah. That physical thing is very important, because, as you have already mentioned, not only the studies that you are gaining through that is
Hmm.
inculcating through your behavior and everything that
Yes.
is done, but all other things are mutually important along with
Yes.
whatever stuff is done. So, yes, all these things. This includes the overall behavior of a child. I have also seen there are student. I have seen a student. This is rare, but I have seen a student. He was really good in study. He is really good in studies. At the time when he was studying, he was naughty. But now, after some years, like, he has emerged as a very brilliant student. And when he was asked to come to his university or college for the facilitation ceremony to be awarded, he was really shy and he could not
Hmm.
come because he was a COVID student sometimes. So
Oh,
sometimes it is also important that the way you are responding to your surroundings and all other things are important apart from your studying and all the other things. Do you think that
correct.
co-curricular activities are also an integral part when you are a student?
For a young child, it is another home. Actually,
Yes.
I have learned so many things in my school which I was never taught in my home. And
Yes.
except that, we learn equality, we learn so many other things. Now I feel that there is no caste differentiation in
Yes.
metropolitan cities like Mumbai. But when I go to villages, I see people so much obsessed with this casteism. Whereas we, in our classrooms, we always share tiffin. We were never taught about that. We all wore same school uniform, so we never even discussed about what is your culture, what do you wear. In fact, we tried
Yes.
that, this is your culture, okay, we shall also try, we will also celebrate it with you. So we have
Yes.
learned so many other factors
Yes.
which
Yes.
has united us, I feel.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I have one question, it's just popping up in my mind. I thought of asking you before we wrap up.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Please go ahead.
The question is that the way you asked me that being a teacher, you come across students, those who have different behavior, and their education level is different. So I want to know from your end that as you are a teacher, you have been taking sessions of so many English students. I want to
Yes.
know, did you face any such students who was very curious or desperate in learning this language, was obedient and learned English in no time, or was there a student who has taken enough number of sessions but still is at the same stage where he was? So, how do you understand that this student is the one who is going to excel? Because I know that this is very easy for
Yes.
a teacher, and there's a
Yes.
gut feeling within that we come to know that this student will go ahead. So,
Yes.
how do
True.
you come to know that which student has that spark? I
Yeah.
feel this will be very beneficial for my students to hear.
Yes. Yeah, actually, as you already know, like I have come across students who are from different, the way they have started is very different. I have seen a students who are very, when you come to curiosity, that is also different for different students. There are some students who are very eager and very desperate to learn this language, like, but the way they are trying to do is their own build. Sometimes they are not even ready to hear the tutor, like they're obedient,
Hmm.
they really want to do be good in this language, but they are like they have built some inbuilt way in their mind, and they'll
Okay.
try to achieve that in their own way. But this is our work, this is what we
Hmm.
need to do. We always try to tell them, okay, you need to walk
Hmm.
through this path,
Correct.
because we've seen students how they how you will be improving with your communication skills, English talking, and all these things. So this is how we guide them, but ultimately a student has to do, at the end of the day he has to follow up things. So yeah, when we are talking about, you had asked whether the student that you have come across, they're obedient, and how do I recognize it. So I think the following what is taught to you, especially at the beginning, when you are a very beginner at this language. If some student is really following, if I'm asking you to do something and I want that in next session, okay, please read something,
Yes.
this will improve your fluency, and please do
Hmm.
that. And at the next day, if
Hmm.
I forget sometimes, and if the student in front of me comes and says, ma'am, you said this and you had asked this, and so that
Yes.
is very nice, like you are really obedient. So these are some things that can differentiate a person who is really eager, as well as is implementing what needs to be done. And because implementation is, after all, the most important thing. Only
Correct.
the want only you need something, that is not something will fulfill everything that you
Correct.
desire for. So yeah, this is how we I think you can relate to it. We can
Very well.
differentiate yeah, students in this way.
Okay. Thank
Yes.
you for answering. Very
Yeah,
well
yeah.
answered.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kavita. This was really nice question. Actually, I was also going through this dilemma sometimes, like, at the beginning,
Okay.
and now
Uh,
also. But yeah, that was always sometimes clear for me. And how do you think that teaching these days have changed? Like we have come across, we have seen, we have been students since
hmm.
were there in school,
Hmm.
and we were there in colleges. We got graduated, and there were different
Hmm.
phases. So, how do you think has teaching changed in our country in the last few decades?
I wouldn't consider about the education system because that will get monotonous answer. But I will give
Yes.
you something very interesting reply over this that the
Yes.
teaching of every teacher remained different throughout the phase of our journey, our study
Yes.
journey. Because some
I agree.
teachers are very strict towards what they are teaching. They only read the lines, they explain those lines, and that too they explain in such a manner that I find, in fact, it was better to read the book rather than listening from the
Yes.
teacher. Because I actually do not understand anything. But there are teachers who have been very realistic. And even if I do not understand the line, they will relate it to some mutual things or surrounding happening in our environment, and we actually memorize that at the same time when the teacher is teaching. And in fact, when
Yes.
I come home, I don't even have to read the book multiple times. I just know what my teacher taught me. I remember the
Yes.
examples and it's done. So I
Yes.
feel that the interest of the student is built on how the teacher has taught that subject. And I
Yes.
have always tried to be that teacher who my students find interesting and they feel like, okay, ma'am, you taught us, no. So anyway, we don't have to revise it. We will rock the exam. So I feel good.
Yes.
The teaching has to be changed from that perspective because students those days were okay, not distracted, did not have any social media or maybe XYZ things. So they were oriented, study oriented. They only had books to study. But these days, students have changed. They have
Yes.
upgraded themselves. So teachers also need to upgrade themselves according to the mentality of students. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel this is what every teacher must implement in their lives to excel in their own education and teaching. Along with that, upgrade the students' mentality about their learning capacity.
Yes, yes, I agree with your point. Like sometimes we think that the creation of the hypothetical situations that usually teachers do in order to explain us in better manner is something we take it as in a fun manner. But actually,
Yes.
at end of the day, when we are going to revise things, then we realize that okay, we could remember this because this was something that was taught to us at that later stage. So yes, this is really beneficial as well as helpful, and I think this hasn't changed and will not change for the later decades also.
Yes, I hope it does.
Yeah, yeah. So, Kavita, we had really good conversation, and we are
Yeah.
at around the end of our
You know,
session.
time just flies. Time just flies. This 15 minutes is just
This
such
15
a
minutes.
short span when it comes to speaking to somebody who is quite compatible. Quite compatible,
Yes,
I would say. And there are students who have liked us. If you go in the comment section and check, no, students have
yes,
said that you both make a good pair. We like your
yes,
conversation, especially with Muskan ma'am. And there are so many students that please get Muskan ma'am over the call
okay,
because we haven't had seen her for a long time. So they say
okay.
this.
That's so nice of you. Like, I think I've checked your channel last time, and I was really happy to read all those sweet comments
Okay,
that everyone
comments.
puts there, and I literally read them like very nice. And
Wow.
I've also shown my like I have family members, and I've also
Hmm.
shown sometimes. Like they ask me
Okay.
what you're doing, so this is
Hmm.
your video is something that I show them. Okay, this is something that I usually do, and they have also liked it so much. And
Thank
yeah,
you
thank
so
you so
much.
much. Very grateful for everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. See you in the next class,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Please keep a slot available late night because I am that late night person. Please.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'm also a late night person. Sure.
Okay,
Thank you
okay.
so
See
much.
you,
Good.
ma'am. Bye bye. Good
Bye
night.
bye.